Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive into the world of AI? This week, we're digging into Matt Wolf's latest insights. And even though he called it a relatively quiet week in AI news, knowing Matt, we're still in for some fascinating stuff.
Yeah, you're right. It's Matt Wolf. There's always something interesting to uncover.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this week, Tesla's up first, and their big AI event has everyone talking about robo-taxis. Self-driving cars have been just over the horizon, it feels like forever.
Right. Feels like we've been talking about them forever, but Tesla is really pushing the boundaries this time.
For sure. What really stood out to me was their whole vision for these robotaxis. I mean, they're not just talking about cars that can drive themselves. They're talking about like a completely different way of thinking about vehicles.
Absolutely. Like, picture this. No steering wheel, no pedals, just this wide open, comfy space where you can, I don't know, work on a presentation or binge watch your favorite show while your car just whisks you away to your destination.
Yeah. Catch a quick nap during your morning commute, that is, if you're not too busy backseat driving out of habit.
Right.
But on a serious note, no steering wheel. That's a bold move, even for Tesla. Do they really think these robotaxis will be ready to actually hit the streets by 2026?
Yeah, that 2026 timeline that Elon Musk threw out there is definitely ambitious, but knowing Tesla, it's probably best that we don't underestimate them. They've been laser focused on this whole self-driving thing, and honestly, the simulations they showed off at their AI event were really impressive.
Sure, simulations are one thing, but real-world driving, dealing with unpredictable pedestrians and crazy drivers, I mean, that's a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
So how are they planning to address all those safety concerns, especially with something as out there as a car without a steering wheel?
That's the big question, isn't it? Like, how do you make a car without a steering wheel safe? It's a bit mind-boggling, but Tesla's saying that their approach relies on AI and all these sensors to basically create a super awareness of the car's surroundings. They argue that by removing human error, these systems are ultimately going to be way safer than us, flawed human drivers.
That's a bold statement to make for sure, but what's really capturing everyone's attention is the potential impact on our cities. Fewer people driving themselves means fewer cars on the road, less traffic, and that means way less need for parking spaces, right?
Exactly. Just imagine how our cities could change. All those massive parking lots could become parks, green spaces, places for people to actually enjoy. This whole autonomous vehicle thing has the potential to completely change the way we think about urban planning.
That's really making me think differently about the future of cities. It's not just about transportation, is it? We're talking about changes to real estate, how businesses operate, even just our daily routines. It's massive.
For sure. And don't forget that little detail about Tesla owners maybe being able to add their robo-taxis to some sort of autonomous ride-sharing network, right? It's like suddenly your car isn't just a way to get around. It could actually be a source of income. The lines between personal transportation and like a side hustle start to get really blurry.
Talk about a game changer.
Mm.
And speaking of futuristic tech, remember back when creating really realistic videos was something only big-budget Hollywood studios could pull off?
Yeah, it's crazy how things have
It
changed.
really is. The progress we've made with AI video generation is incredible.
It's mind-blowing. I mean, you've got AI generating images from text prompts. It seems like video is the natural next step.
Totally. Matt Wolf highlighted a bunch of new AI video generators, but the one that caught my eye was Meta Movie Gen. What makes that one so special?
Well, it's the fact that it can do so much. It's not just creating visuals. It can actually generate audio, too. We're talking sound effects, background music, the whole shebang. It can even put real faces into the videos. You could literally make a high-quality video starring yourself, and you wouldn't even have to pick up a camera.
Wow. That's both amazing and a little creepy. Think about the potential for misuse, though. I mean, creating realistic deepfakes with a tool like that, it does make you think.
No doubt. As AI keeps getting more powerful, we really need to be talking about the ethical implications. And speaking of potential, let's talk about Pyramid Flow. It's another AI video generation tool that's got everyone talking, but it's open source, which makes it a whole different ballgame.
Okay, I'll be honest. I need a bit more on that. What is Pyramid Flow and what makes it so different?
So imagine Pyramid Flow as this toolkit for video creation that anyone can use. You see, unlike Meta's Meta Movie Gen, which is proprietary, Pyramid Flow is open source. That means developers can tinker with it, change the code, and build all sorts of custom applications.
Oh, I see. It's like the difference between, I don't know, buying a pre-built model car versus getting a box of Lego and building whatever you can dream up.
Exactly. And because it's open source, it could lead to this explosion of creativity, with developers customizing this technology, finding all these new ways to use AI for video. It's pretty exciting.
It really is. And this whole idea of making AI more accessible, it seems like that's becoming a bigger trend. We're not just talking about these big tech giants controlling everything anymore. It's like AI is working its way into our everyday lives in all these subtle ways.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of AI becoming part of our everyday lives, can we talk about those Zoom avatars for a second? The first time I saw one pop up in a meeting, I have to admit, I was a little thrown off.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I know what you mean. It's like, is that person really there or
Yeah.
it's definitely a sign of the times though, right? AI is becoming more and more common even in our work lives. I mean, remember when sending a fax seemed like the height of technology?
I know, right? Fax machines. And now we're talking about AI avatars attending meetings for us, sending messages.
It makes you wonder, if our avatars can do that, now what's next? Are we going to be sending our AI selves to negotiate deadlines or, like, deal with those phone calls we just don't want to make?
Right. It's both fascinating and a little scary to think about. Like, on the one hand, having an AI assistant to handle those things could free up so much time and mental energy. But on the other hand, does it just mean the lines between work and life get even blurrier?
It's something to think about for sure.
Mhm.
But it's not just work that AI is changing, right? I mean, think about those AI-powered anti-theft features coming to Android phones.
Hmm.
It's like having a digital bodyguard for your data.
Right. That just blew me away when I heard about it. I mean, these phones will actually be able to use AI to tell if someone's trying to steal them just by how they're moving.
That's wild, like something you'd see in a spy movie. But you know what? I have to admit, a part of me kind of wants that level of protection for my own phone. It's just crazy how AI is showing up in all these unexpected places.
It is. It really makes you realize just how common AI is becoming. Like, remember when smartphones were this luxury item? Now we can't imagine life without them. I feel like AI is on that same path. Soon it'll just be in the background, this invisible force shaping our digital world.
I know. It's both amazing and a little bit unnerving, right?
Yeah.
But hey, before we get too deep into existential dread, let's switch gears for a minute and talk about something a bit more philosophical.
Hmm.
Remember when we used to joke about AI winning a Nobel Prize?
Yeah. It seems so far-fetched, like something out of science fiction.
Totally.
Yeah.
And yet here we are. This past week, Jeffrey Hinton and John Hopfield, these pioneers in AI, were awarded Nobel Prizes in physics for their work on neural networks. They basically laid the groundwork for so much of what we're seeing today.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. I mean, their contributions to the field are undeniable, but it's interesting, isn't it? Both Hinton and Hopfield have also expressed concerns about the potential dangers of AI, even while acknowledging how powerful it is.
Yeah, you're right. Hinton especially has been pretty vocal about the need for ethical guidelines and safeguards as AI continues to develop. It's like that old saying, with great power comes great responsibility.
Couldn't agree more. And speaking of responsibility, Matt Wolf also talked about OpenAI's ongoing partnership with those big media companies like Hearst. Seems like the debate about AI and copyright in this new age of AI-generated content is far from over.
Yeah, that's a tough one, isn't it? On the one hand, we've got these incredible AI systems that can generate human quality writing, images, even full-blown articles. But then on the other hand, you've got all these artists, writers, and creators who are understandably concerned about their livelihoods, about their work being used without their consent or compensation. It's a tricky situation with no easy solutions.
For sure. Figuring out how to navigate this new landscape is going to require a lot of open dialogue, collaboration, and probably a willingness to adapt and change as things evolve.
Definitely. But, even with all the ethical questions and copyright debates, there's still so much wonder in this field. Like, did you hear about that electronic tongue they've developed?
Oh, yeah. Now that was a cool development.
It's amazing, right?
Yeah.
We might soon live in a world where you can use AI to instantly tell if your milk's gone bad or if that expensive bottle of wine is actually real.
It's like something right out of Star Trek. No more relying on your nose or those sometimes iffy expiration dates.
I know. Sign me up. It's those moments of unexpected innovation that really make you realize how much potential AI has. We're really just scratching the surface of what's possible. It really is mind-blowing and, honestly, a little bit humbling, too, when you think about it. We're living in this time of incredible technological change, and AI is poised to touch everything.
It really is. It makes you realize how much the world's changing. And that actually makes me think about something really important. The need for everyone to really understand what's going on. Like, As AI becomes more a part of our lives, it's more important than ever that we're all engaged, that we get how it works, what it can and can't do, and how it's going to change things for better or worse.
Totally. I mean, that's kind of the whole point of these deep dives, right? We want to break down these complicated AI topics and give our listeners the information they need to make sense of it all.
Exactly. Especially with AI, knowledge is power, right?
Right.
The more we all know about these technologies, the better chance we have of using them for good and making sure they don't, go off the rails.
Well said. And on that note, I think we've covered a ton today. We talked about everything from self-driving cars that could totally reshape our cities to like AI taste buds that can tell if your milk's gone bad.
It's been quite a ride. It just goes to show AI isn't some far off thing anymore. It's here, it's now, and it's changing everything.
For sure. A huge thank you to Matt Wolf for, as always, keeping us up to date on all things AI. And thanks to you, our amazing listeners, for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.
Stay curious, everyone.
And remember, the future of AI is something we all have a say in. Our choices, the decisions we make today, are going to shape that future. So let's make it a good one.